Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Season 4, Episodes 5 and 6. So yeah, we're here with two more episodes of Star vs. This week. Getting to it a little later this time, but at least we're getting to it, right? Now, I don't remember if I said this just on Discord or if I mentioned it in my last reaction as well, but I don't like that they're releasing two episodes at the same time each week. Like, for the first week, like, okay, that's fine. But after that, it gets to the point where it's like, it feels like they're trying to rush through the season. It feels like they're just trying to, like Disney is trying to say, like, oh, we're just going to, this is the final season, we're just going to get through with this. We're just going to get it over with so we can focus on the stuff we want to focus on. You know, despite the fact that Star Vs. Is one of our most popular shows, like, pretty much ever. Despite the fact that the fans want to continue seeing it and wish this wasn't the final season, which, I mean, that's beyond the network's control. It was the people who make the show, it was their choice to have this be the final season. But still, overall, I just feel like they're just rushing through with the release of it. It should be one episode a week. Having it be 2 episodes a week just... it does not work. It hurts the overall feel of it, the overall enjoyment of watching it, because you're getting too much at once. And again, it's going to be over too quickly. I'm just not a fan of that. I never have been, and I probably never will be. It's the same reason why I don't like binging stuff for the most part. I don't like binging shows, and one of the reasons why whenever it comes to Netflix shows and stuff, I actually actively try not to watch too much at once. And there's sometimes where I'll go weeks between watching. I just watched Supernatural last night. It was the first time I've watched Supernatural in probably like 2 months. Because I'm purposefully doing that. Even though I'm only on Season 2 out of 14 currently having aired and 1 more coming up. It's just... I refuse to marathon through it because I don't want to get sick of it. You need to have those breaks in between episodes for your overall enjoyment of the series, for your overall interest in the series to continue. Having those breaks allows you to build up that hype between episodes and keep your interest in the show at its peak. To marathon through it, it's just like, it takes away one of the biggest parts of watching a series, in my opinion. One of the most important parts, and that is the building of hype. Which is why Season 2 of Stranger Things, which I marathoned through the entire season in pretty much almost one sitting. I did have to take a break to have a little bit of rest, but in 2 sittings, basically. Which is why I usually won't do that. The only reason I'm doing it this next Friday during the Spring is Sprung special for Love, Death, and Robots is because they're basically shorts. It's not like a full series, and it's not like wholly connected. Like, it's not a connected story. It's a bunch of different shorts. So it's not like I need to build that hype for it. It's a different kind of show. But for a show like this that does have an interconnected story, for a show like this that does have an ongoing narrative, marathoning it does not work, and having all of these episodes every single week does not work. I'm sorry, but cliffhangers are important. Having breaks in between episodes are important. And I just do not like that they're running the show, that they're airing the show this way. And usually how the show is aired is up to the network. Like, when it starts airing exactly, how many episodes are aired per week, breaks between episodes, all of that is up to the network, usually. So it's like I said, it feels like they're trying to rush through it. Like they're trying to just get it done and out of the way, like they did with Legend of Korra. Nickelodeon eventually like pushed Legend of Korra onto online only, and then only brought it back in the end because of the demand for it. Um, and even then, it felt extremely. It had a very extreme lack of proper advertising from Nickelodeon, and was just pushed to the wayside for their other shows, especially stuff like SpongeBob. Yet, Legend of Korra was a much higher rated show for them at the time. But yet they pushed SpongeBob because it's SpongeBob, basically. And it's one of the reasons why Legend of Korra didn't do as well as Avatar The Last Airbender. And yeah, some people just didn't like it as well, but I'm talking about like the series itself didn't do as well, ratings wise, because Nickelodeon basically buried it under everything else. Cartoon Network has done this with Steven Universe, because they'd rather push their shows like Powerpuff Girls 2016 and Teen Titans Go. And it's just stupid. And I feel like they're trying to do the same with Star Versus here. They're just trying to get it done and over with so they can focus on the shows that they want to focus on, rather than what the, viewers want. But yeah, either way, story-wise, yeah. Eclipsa's in charge. Star and her family are just kind of doing other stuff. Star and Marco are living in the castle still. But Moon and River have decided to kind of live otherwise, just move out and do their own thing, basically because of distrust in Eclipsa, which I really want to be proven false. I want Eclipse to be a good person in the end. I want her to be just a good overall person and have some other kind of villain in the end. There was that little hint that Glosser gave, maybe defeating Toffee or whatever, defeating him in the magic realm was a bad idea. Maybe something could come of that. Hopefully, that would be better. I don't want Eclipsa and by association Globgor to end up being bad. I just don't want that to be the case here. I feel like it would. The fact that she is so good and nice and friendly is so subversive of the tropes surrounding her kind of character. By having her end up being evil all along, it would just be a slap in the face of how progressive and great this series is, in my opinion. But yeah, either way, Moon has been rescued, and Star has been confirmed as bi. This has actually been confirmed. Apparently, it was said by one of the people who work on the show. Like someone was thanked, like one of the people who work on the show was thanked by a fan, like for making Star bi and all. And the person was like, oh no, thank these people instead, basically confirming, oh yeah, no, she is bi. Which is great, and I still love that. And it was handled very well. We still haven't seen the beach photo. That's going to come into play, I feel. But we did see Star and Tom's relationship continue to grow through their own beach episode, as well as getting a little more depth with Tom's mother, which I'm all good for. And so, yeah, it's just, we've been getting a lot, and I feel like we're going to start getting some more episodic stuff now. We're going to start going into the just kind of random stuff here and there, with little hints that will lead into a bigger ongoing narrative further down the line. But let's find out. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, one now. So these episodes were pretty good, and a lot more plot focused than I thought they were going to be. To be honest, I expected these episodes to be very episodic in nature. But no, everything was actually very well connected, very well handled in terms of like main plot points and main elements regarding the plot. So the first episode we had here, 5A, was Yada Yada Berries. Someone put these Yada Yada Berries in Eclipsa's oatmeal. And we never found out who it actually was. Star and Marco are attempting to find out who it was. They're following all these different clues, and it's this really fun, kind of, not really a murder mystery because no one died, but like this really cool mystery, like whodunit kind of thing. And in the end, they end up like locking up everyone who bought Yada Yada Berries from this like Sherry girl, I think her name was. But Eclipsa let them all go. Then we had the second part of this where it was focusing on Moon and River and a new family who recently lost their home to a monster family. So the Moon family was living in a monster home unknowingly somehow. And on their way back found out that the monsters had moved back in. So they were kind of kicked out, but they didn't seem like as angry about it as you would have thought. They seemed more kind of disappointed and like just, what will we do now? And so they end up coming across Moon and River and basically start annoying them unintentionally. Moon gets really pissed off in this, and it's hilarious to see. But eventually Moon ends up working with them and helping them out because she feels sorry for basically ruining their lives in a way by everything that they did. And then another family comes in at the end, and it almost seems like they're going to start building this new village, and that would be cool. I'd actually really like to see that. I really hope that happens. But then we got the second part here, episodes 6A and 6B. So 6A was the Ponyhead show and was my least favorite of these episodes because I don't like Ponyhead. I don't like focusing on her. The stuff with Eclipsa in it was good because Ponyhead started this like new television show basically. Unfortunately, broadcasting it forcefully to everyone's communicators. But it's basically just her tooting her own horn the entire time. There was supposed to be this cooking with Earth Turd segment with Marco and Kelly doing this cooking show. And then there was supposed to be Eclipsa, because the entire point of it was getting Eclipsa more liked by the general public. But she keeps like pushing away Eclipsa to focus on herself, pushing away Marco and Kelly to focus on herself because it's Ponyhead and she's just detestable. But yeah, eventually we do get some good stuff with Marco and Kelly. Marco revealing to Kelly that wrestling is fake and her reaction to that is freaking phenomenal. As a wrestling fan, a longtime wrestling fan, I just found that hilarious, personally. And on top of that, I like how she did eventually come back from it. I like how at the end, even though they didn't get to do her cooking shows, like you could come over to my place and cook them. And it's like I am so supportive of this ship. One, there's actually some good romantic chemistry between them, unlike with Marco and Star. And two, I actually think it would be a fun, cute idea for them to be together. And they kind of did feel it. Like, there is no way that the creators didn't understand that there would be some shipping fuel with that. Let's be honest. There's definitely shipping fuel there. But in the end, Eclipsa did get to perform a song, and it was honestly really beautiful. I don't know if Eclipsa's singing voice is the same as her speaking voice, but it was beautiful. So that was fantastic. Unfortunately, most of the humans still didn't seem to care, but one little kid did give it an upvote, so at least someone liked it, you know? And finally, the last part, the second part of episode 6 was this spider bite episode. According to this, it's called Surviving the Spider Bites. Um, so King and Queen Spider-Bite, as well as Princess Spider-Bite, Penelope, come over to Muni for a diplomatic relations visit. Um, Star starts showing them around, starts giving them some just various fun things to show off, while they're searching for Eclipsa, who is nowhere to be seen. So she ends up showing the stuff that definitely seems to upset King and Queen Spider-Bite, but though Penelope is not really as focused. um, we find out that Penelope is just trying to text Slime, who she's still together with, which I like that. That's good continuity, and it's good to see that his Slime still does help with spider bites, as shown with King Spider-Bite. So it's good to see that that's still a piece of continuity we have, and that her parents are actually really supportive of monsters, and actually like really supportive of the relationship. Admittedly, probably because it does help with their spider bites, but still. We find out that their main problem is with Globgor specifically, and that all of this stuff that Star had been doing, the chalices they were drinking out of, even the dance put on by those little monster kids, all of were in reference to the atrocities committed by Globgor in the past. And this is really interesting because when Eclipsa is found and does talk to the King and Queen about it, and Star as well, she doesn't deny anything. She doesn't even try to sugarcoat it. She acknowledges that, yeah, these things happened. That Globgor ate Queen Spider-Bite's great-great-great-grandmother or whatever it was, or whatever. And she says that, like, oh, there's more to it, but it did happen. She acknowledges it, and she does apologize, and she tries to make things better. And she even goes to, she takes them to, what is it? Globgor. I don't know why that just suddenly escaped me. She takes them to Globgor, who's frozen in the crystal, and basically prove that there's no way out. And that part got like really harsh because they're like saying, "Oh, like he has no way out." I mean, and they kind of get her to pledge that she'll never release him and stuff, and you could see how bad it's hurting her, what they're saying and how they're saying it and everything. So yeah. But the alliance is formed either way, and things seem to be progressing. So yeah, the interesting thing about this is obviously that we do have this continuity with these episodes, that this is continuing like major plot points and everything. It's not just this small thing. It's not just random episodes of the week kind of thing. No, there's actually continuous progression so far throughout the entire season so far, which is interesting. Not bad by any means. I'm not complaining about it, but I didn't expect it. We'll see how it continues next week. I do know that next week includes a double-length episode, episode 8. It's not 8A and 8B. It's just episode 8. I don't know what it's about. I don't know the title of it. I just know that it is double-length. But episode 7 is not, and both are being released next week. 7A and 7B, and then just episode 8. So yeah, no spoilers as to what it will be about or anything. I have no clue. But I am excited because this has been a pretty good season so far. If I were to give any desires for what I want to see in the future going forward, I definitely want to see more continuity with finding out what the atrocities Globgor has committed and the specifics behind them all. I think that's going to be important. Whether or not he eventually is released from his crystal prison, I do want to see that. And if he's not released from his crystal prison, I do want to see a backstory episode that shows the past, that shows him in the past with Eclipsa, and maybe even how they met. I do want to see more of both Kelly and Tom. I think that they're two very good side characters, two very good supporting cast members who really need to be just given a lot of more love and attention. And I really like the idea of Star ending up with Tom and Marco ending up with Kelly, because I really think that those would be two excellent ships to make canon. Because again, I don't believe that Marco and Star have any romantic chemistry. Now, Marco had the best chemistry with Jackie, but unfortunately, I think they've just kind of thrown her to the wayside. I don't see her returning, and if she does, she'll only return for one appearance. And I unfortunately feel the same about Marco's parents. I just feel like that kind of stuff's not going to be an ongoing factor. Because honestly, I just feel like they've kind of thrown that side of things to the wayside. They're choosing to focus rather on this plot line, which they should focus on it, but I kind of miss that other stuff. And it feels like it's been thrown away, especially with Jackie, which I feel was completely poorly handled. Even if they didn't end up together, it was really poorly handled. And I want to see more Jana, for sure, for example. And there's definitely more going on with Glossaric, and I definitely want to see that. The entire thing with the spell book, we find out that Eclipsa is trying to find the spell book, because apparently Glossaric has these silkworms or whatever that can reconstruct anything from the smallest scraps. And we know that Star has the only scraps of the spell book left. So, yeah, she's hiding it from Eclipsa, because I unfortunately don't think she even fully trusts Eclipsa right now. So it's interesting to see where this is going to go with the spellbook plotline. Ludo has been mentioned, but I don't even know if he'll return at all in any significant way. It's just like, I just feel like there's a lot of things that are going to be left either unanswered or not given enough time and focus. Kind of in a similar way that Steven Universe Season 5 ended off by rushing the fuck out of everything. I unfortunately think Starverses might end up doing the same thing, rushing a lot of plot points to just try and get them tied up. And it'll end up feeling really forced because of it. But either way, I did enjoy these episodes, and I want to hear what you think. Tell me in the comments below what you thought of these episodes, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,